Welcome to the very last video for college algebra. This is pretty exciting. It's been a long journey. We've learned lots of information together, and we're going to wrap it up here in section 5.2.5, looking at an application of nonlinear systems. So here we go. The area of a rectangle is 78 square feet, and the perimeter is 38 feet. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. All right, that doesn't sound too bad. So we have a rectangle that has dimensions that we describe as length and width. Let's suppose that x equals the width of our rectangle and y equals the length. And that's going to be measured in feet. So we have two unknowns, which means we need two equations. So first of all, notice it says the area of the rectangle is 78 square feet. We find the area of a rectangle by multiplying length times width. So if we take the length times width, x times y, that should give us 78. Now, we also know that the perimeter of the rectangle is 38 feet. Recall, to find the perimeter, we add all of the sides together, or we could say 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. That is 2 times the width x plus 2 times the length y should give us 38 feet. So notice this is a non-linear system. We could not solve this one by elimination because we don't have like terms in the two equations. So we'll resort to substitution. So I'm going to look at that first equation and isolate y. If we divide both sides by x, we can see y equals 78 divided by x. Then I can take that information in for y in the other equation. So we end up with 2x plus 2 times our new y, 78 over x, equals 38. So we have one equation and one variable. We just need to solve this equation. So I'm going to start by multiplying those fractions together. Think of that as 2 over 1 times 78 over x. So 2 times 78 gives me 156, and we have an x in the denominator. Remember, one technique that we learned this semester with rational equations is to clear the fractions by multiplying both sides by the LCD. So I'm going to multiply the left side by x and the right side by x. So x times 2x gives us 2x squared. And then notice when we take x and multiply it by 156 over x, the denominator cancels and we just get 156. And then on the right side, we have 38x. So we've transformed this rational equation into a quadratic equation. To solve a quadratic equation, we need it equal to 0. So let's subtract 38x from both sides. And while we're at it, let's rewrite that equation in descending order. Now, if you notice, all of our terms are even, so we'll be able to reduce the coefficients a little bit. Let's go through and divide all of our terms on both sides of the equation by 2. So this gives us x squared. 38 divided by 2 is 19, so we get negative 19x, and 156 divided by 2 is 78. So we need to factor this quadratic. So notice our two signs are both going to be negative, and we need two factors of 78 with a sum of 19. So if you play with the factors of 78, you're going to land on 6 and 13. 6 times 13 gives me 78, and my outside and inside terms would easily combine there to give me negative 19x. So we have two apparent solutions. X is 6 or x is 13. So let's find the corresponding y values. So if x is equal to 6, and we know from this form of that first equation, y can be calculated as 78 over x. We can plug 6 in for x, and 78 divided by 6 gives us 13. Now if x is 13, then we can plug 13 into that same equation, 78 divided by 13, and lo and behold, we're going to get 6. So either we have a width of 6 and a length of 13, or a width of 13 and a length of 6. So really, it's just saying my rectangle can be wider than it is long or longer than it is wide. But either way, it has to have the dimensions 6 feet by 13 feet. So we can say the rectangle is 6 feet by 13 feet. Okay, this is very exciting. You have completed, look at the bottom of your page here, you have completed 100 pages of college algebra notes. So congratulations, great job persevering to this point. I want to wish you the best of luck on that final exam. Thanks for your hard work this semester, and I sure hope you've learned a lot.